Dutch water boards are regional government bodies charged with managing water barriers, waterways, water levels, water quality and sewage treatment in their respective regions. These regional water authorities are among the oldest forms of local government in the Netherlands, some of them having been founded in the 13th century. Around 26% of the area of the Netherlands is at or below sea level, and several branches of the Rhine-Meuse delta run through this relatively small country. Historically, there always was a good deal of coastal and river flooding. Flood control in the Netherlands is a national priority, since about two-thirds of the country is vulnerable to flooding, while at the same time it is one of the most densely populated countries on Earth. Natural sand dunes and man-made dikes, dams and floodgates provide defense against storm surges from the sea. River dikes prevent flooding of land by the major rivers Rhine and Meuse, while a complicated system of drainage ditches, canals and pumping stations keep the low-lying parts dry for habitation and agriculture. Water boards are independent local government bodies responsible for maintaining this system. Een Unie van Waterschappen promotes the interests of Dutch water boards at a national and international level. 23 of the water boards are members of this association. The Unie van Waterschappen acts collaboratively with other appropriate bodies or institutions to pursue the association's objectives, including association with other European organizations through membership of the EU WMA. History, origins and early development. This method of controlling water emerged as the unpredictable water was tamed and the land drained for agriculture. The first dikes and water control structures were built and maintained by those directly benefiting from them, mostly farmers. As the structures got more extensive and complex, councils were formed from people with a common interest in control of water levels of their land. The first water boards were formed in the 13th century. These often controlled only a small area, a single polder or dike. As these boards became better organized, the Counts of Holland began granting charters to the boards. They were also granted the right to make their own bylaws. The ever-present threat of loss of life and land required short lines of communication between authorities and residents who maintained the infrastructure. The threat of flooding in a Heerlijkheid was best dealt with by local authorities, so water boards were originally chaired by the local nobility. Local water boards were set up to maintain integrity of water defenses around local polders, to maintain waterways inside polders and to control various water levels in and outside local polders. The mandate of these water boards was maintenance of dikes, dunes and waterways, control of water level and quality of all surface water. The original water boards varied much in organization, power and area they managed. The differences were often dictated by different circumstances. Whether they had to defend a sea dike against a storm surge or keep water level in a polder within bounds. Hoogheemraadschappen were responsible for protecting the land against the sea and for regulating water levels of various canals and lakes into which water was pumped from polders and waterschappen. Dikes were maintained by individuals who benefited from their existence. Every farmer was designated a part of a dike to maintain, with a review every 3 years by the water board directors. The old rule was, whom the water harms stops the water. This meant that those living at the dike had to pay and care for it. Those people could go bankrupt from having to repair a breached dike. Those living further inland often refused to pay for or assist upkeep of dikes, even though they were just as much affected by floods. This system led to haphazard maintenance, and it is believed that many floods would be prevented or mitigated if dikes had been in better condition. Punishments meted out by water boards were fines for misdemeanors such as emptying waste in the nearest canal. However, according to various historical documents, the death penalty was used more than once for serious offenders who threatened dike safety or water quality. Later development in the 17th century, there were many of these independent local bodies levying their own taxes and administering justice. This early form of local government played a role in the development of a political system in the Netherlands that was decentralized and dependent on communal cooperation. Widespread experience with decentralized government was a factor in the formation of the Dutch Republic in the 16th and 17th centuries. The mandate of Rijkswaterstaat, established in 1798 under French rule, was to centralize water control in the Netherlands. Local water boards refused to give up their autonomy, however, so Rijkswaterstaat ended up working alongside the local water boards. Today Rijkswaterstaat has responsibility for major water control structures and other infrastructure like motorways. By 1850 there were about 3,500 water boards in the country. In modern times water boards merged as they dealt with joint interests. Mergers eventually reduced the number to 25 water boards in 2011. The tasks of water boards remain basically unchanged. Dutch water boards have their own coat of arms, a colorful reminder of their importance in Dutch history. The historic buildings that used to house the water boards are another legacy. Called Gemeenlandshuis or Waterschaphuis, these charming old buildings can be found at the heart of many Dutch towns. Responsibilities. Water boards act independently from national government to manage the continuing struggle against the water in the Netherlands. Water boards still levy their own taxes, but they no longer have power to penalize offenders. To control quality of surface water, water boards fulfill several tasks: policy making, planning and building projects, issuing permits and treatment of sewage and byproducts. The various municipalities within the geographic area covered by a water board are responsible for collecting sewage from households and industries. But water boards transport and treat the sewage. In its territory, a water board is responsible for management and maintenance of water barriers, dunes, dikes, quays and levees, management and maintenance of waterways, maintenance of a proper water level in polders and waterways, maintenance of surface water quality through wastewater treatment. Dutch water boards are not responsible for the water supply to the general public and are therefore not considered a utility. In addition to taxes raised by water boards, central government contributes to their finances by paying construction and maintenance costs of water barriers and main waterways. The costs of wastewater treatment are financed by a water pollution levy, which is based on the polluter pays principle. Governance. Water boards hold elections, levy taxes and function independently from other government bodies. Water board structures vary, but they each have an elected general administrative body, an executive board and a chair. Hoofdland and most of the members of the general administrative body of the water boards are elected democratically, although some stakeholders may have the power to appoint members. Members of the general administrative body are elected for a period of 4 years. Unlike municipal council elections, voters do not usually have to go to a polling station, but they can vote by mail or even by telephone. The constituencies of members of the general administrative body are the various categories of stakeholders: landholders, leaseholders, owners of buildings, companies and all residents. The nature of the interest and financial contribution are factors in determining how many representatives each category may have on the water board. Heemraden, the general administrative body, elects some of its own members to sit on the executive board, called the College van Dijkgraaf Heemraden. Except for the chairperson, these executive board members, called Heemraden or Hoogheemraden in Dutch, traditionally represent 4 types of water users: the local population, industry, municipalities, farmers and public parks. Dijkgraaf. Each water board is headed by a chair, an ancient office that dates back to the medieval period. The chair is appointed by the government for a period of 6 years. The chair presides over the executive board and the general administrative body and has certain ceremonial duties as well. The chair of a water board is at the same level as a mayor in local government and a Queen's Commissioner in provincial government. List of water boards. Typically, a waterboard's territory is made up of one or more polders or watersheds. The territory of a waterboard generally covers several municipalities and may even include areas in 2 or more provinces. As of 2014, there are 24 waterboards in the Netherlands. Watership Noorderzeel West, Wetterschip Friesland, Watership Hunze Naas, Watership Ries en Weeden, Watership Vechtstromen, Watership Groot-Salland, Watership Vallei en Veluwe, Watership Rijn en IJssel, Hoogheemraadschap District Rijnlanden, Hoogheemraadschap Amstel, Gooi Vecht, Hoogheemraadschap Hollands Noorderkwartier, Hoogheemraadschap van Rijnland, Hoogheemraadschap van Delfland, Hoogheemraadschap van Schieland en de Krimpenerwaard, Watership Rivierenland, Watership Hollands Delta, Watership Scheldestromen, Watership Brabante Delta, Watership de Dommel, Watership Aan Maas, Watership Heel en Maas Vallei, Watership Roer en Overmaas, Watership Zuider-Zeeland, Watership Lige Buitendijks, Watership Roer en Overmaas and Watership Heel en Maas Vallei have a joint company called Waterschapsbedrijf Limburg. One of its tasks is to ensure that the sewage treatment plants function efficiently. Elections. Elect the new water authority management. The one who is aged 18 or over and is registered with a local authority in the Netherlands can vote in the water authority elections every 4 years. Over the next 4 years, the new water authority management will make decisions about water management. This sees to it that the dikes are strong and that there are adequate supplies of clean water, so we can live, work and play safely in an area that is mostly below sea level. The last elections were held on March 18, 2015. In which regional water authority area does one live? One can enter their postcode at MIJN Watership and find out in which area one lives. The water authority elections are held at the same day as the provincial government elections. The local council will send each inhabitant a list of candidates and a ballot paper by post. This ballot paper contains details of the local polling stations. Nomenclature. Historical terms. Historically, the name Hoogheemraadschap was used for a large area comprising a number of smaller waterschappen within its jurisdiction. Hoogheemraadschap was also traditionally the word used for waterboards located along the Rijn and the Vecht. The term watership refers to the jurisdiction or to the administrative body. This also applies to Hoogheemraadschap. In Dutch, the plural of watership is waterschappen. The plural of Hoogheemraadschap is Hoogheemraadschappen. In present-day usage, the official term is watership. However, the word Hoogheemraadschap is still used by some Dutch waterboards for historical reasons or when several waterschappen are grouped together into a larger regional body. Officially, there is no difference between a Hoogheemraadschap and a watership. The Water Board Act, the Dutch statute that governs regional water authorities, only uses the word watership. A Dutch water board that still uses Hoogheemraadschap in its name may have chosen to do so because Hoogheemraadschap was part of the historical name. However, a watership that styles itself as a Hoogheemraadschap no longer has its traditional structure with subordinate waterschappen. They have been merged into the Hoogheemraadschap itself. Some waterboards chose the name Hoogheemraadschap after a merger of a number of waterschappen into a larger one. When used in this sense, the word Hoogheemraadschap refers to a large regional watership. English translation. When referring to the administrative body, English translations of watership are water board, water control board, district water board, or regional water authority. The last word being recently adopted by the water boards as a preferred English translation on grounds that it is less ambiguous. The jurisdiction of a Dutch regional water authority is generally referred to as the Water Board District, or Regional Water Authority District. These translations also apply to Hoogheemraadschap, which is translated in the same way as watership. The term water board or regional water authority may be confusing in the Dutch context, as water boards and regional water authorities in other countries are often responsible for water supply. A watership or Hoogheemraadschap in the Netherlands is charged with the control and management of water as well as treatment of wastewater, but not with water supply.